So last week I posted a short little video about a song that I heard on TikTok, and it was from Garbage, the band from the 90s with Shirley Manson heading it. And it was just a short little snippet of her singing. And I was blown away. And I don't know if I was in a mood or what, but I started to just play that clip over and over and over. And then all of a sudden, I started to cry. And I started thinking about my own life in the 90s, how everything was great. I was getting girls, I was partying, I was young and thin, had my whole life ahead of me. But it goes beyond nostalgia. Okay, everyone goes down memory lane sometimes, but they don't get so worked up. So I believe, okay, and then here's the thing is the following day, I tried doing the same thing just to get a little like dopamine, a little memory lane dopamine going. And the song had no sting. It had nothing. It was gone. And I was like, whoa, what happened? It's the same song, and I can sit here and casually listen to it like it was just another song. But the day before, when I listened to it over and over and over and started getting like crazy, and I'm just, when I get in this manic state, I feel like I feel like climbing on top of the roof and just screaming, will you guys wake up? This is not the way we should live. I feel like that guy in what's that movie? The old black and white movie, Day After Christmas or something like that, where he's running around yelling at the neighbors. Merry Christmas. Maybe it was the Stooge or a Scrooge. I don't know, but it was manic. All right, it's manic, and it feels like everything is on fire. Like all the senses are crazy, and you gotta listen to the same snippet or the same song over and over and over, and you get so worked up, and then you want other people to believe it. You're like, don't you hear it? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that an amazing song? And people are like, it's just, yeah, it's a song. And I'm like, man. And then I hate them because they don't hear it like I do. Well, you just don't get it, okay? The 90s were special, or the early 2000s were great. And I felt alive then. Now I don't feel alive, and then I go into this like black and white thinking. Well, you weren't there. Okay, I was getting laid. And I was alive, and I thought I was going to live forever. Like I get into this like empowerment, self-empowerment, like you can't think like I do. I have magic in my ears and in my fingertips, and I could have been the next greatest rock and roll drummer. I could have been the next Kurt Cobain. I could have been the best American writer, better than Kerouac. All right, and I get into these manic episodes like every 3 to 6 months. Now, can you relate? I mean, do you have moments where you get into this tunnel vision thinking, and maybe you get this dopamine and all these emotions come up? It's like you've been suppressing your life for years, and all of a sudden it all comes out in one Sunday afternoon, and you're like, don't you get it? I do. I don't know about you. And it almost feels like growing pains also. Like I know I'm getting older, and every 3 to 6 months I freak out, and I'll be listening to Deftones or something, and I'll think back about, my days partying with friends and laughing. And then I look at my life now, and I'm like, I have no friends because I'm sober, and I look forward to tea at night. That's all I got. And it's like growing pains into like older age. It's like I'm very sensitive. I don't know if you're very sensitive, but this world is getting crazier and crazier. And sometimes you just want to go back into the 90s, the early 2000s, but you can't. And you wake up every day and you're like, oh God, this again. The drama on the news, all the crazy crap I can't even talk about on here. And you know, it's just too much. You know, at least I'm not like my dad. You know, he has these same kind of attacks too. I totally believe that he has autism like I do, like father, like son. And but my mom says that when he gets depressed. Okay, I have more like anxiety. I have more of a hyper nervous social anxiety thing going on. My dad and my sister have the depressive thing going. And when it hits my dad, like once every 6 months, he's bedridden for 3 days. He'll just lay in bed, and I've never seen him do it. And I can't believe how he raised my sister and I, and ran a business at the same time. I mean, I gave him hell when I became a teenager. I was a handful, got in trouble with the police, and I just don't know how he did it every day. Um, and then eventually he got on meds, and I don't want to get on meds. I want to feel everything. I don't. It's not bad. I mean, it's not like right now. If someone walked in the house, I'd be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I would be normal. You know, even during the manic periods, I could probably snap out of it. I might be acting a little off. There might still be like my eyes might be glistening from crying, but I know how to socialize if I have to. It's kind of like it's acting. Okay, I'm high functioning guy with autism. I rocked 14 hours a day listening to music. That was my life. And I know some of you guys are like, stemming's not bad, you know. It's what we do to self-regulate, and I totally understand. But I was rocking 14 hours a day. And I'm 51 and I want to see what happens without rocking. And guess what? It just moved to a different part of my body. Now I tap my feet, and I hum songs. All of a sudden I'm humming a Limp Bizkit song, and I'm like, no, stop that. You're doing, you're watching TV or whatever. So it's coming out in other ways. I can't stop it completely, and I don't want to. I twitch my feet at night and under the covers. Try not to twitch my feet too hard, or Misha's gonna wake up. But so tell me leave a comment. Do you have this music mania thing once in a while, where you just feel like shouting and you're just like all the emotions come up from decades ago? Maybe we've been suppressing parts of ourselves, thinking that we have to fit into an adult life. One of my old friends visited me. This is when I still lived in a school bus, like 8 years ago. It was 10 years ago. And he came over. We were really good friends in our 20s, and he went off to be a nurse, and he got all serious. And I kept rocking and going down memory lane and listening to music. And since I rocked all day long, I just sit there and play memories. That's my DVD. That's my entertainment besides music and rocking, is playing memories. And so my memories of my old friends, very clear. And he came over to visit, and I'd been sober for 4 years, and I was a lot more serious. And so was he. But I wanted to go down memory lane with him. And I was like, remember that time when you did this and I did that? And he's like, Eric, that was 20 years ago. And it just kind of like shut me down. And then he was like, you want to go have a beer? I was like, I don't drink. And that was it. He left. And because memories for me are very important. Who's going to just walk away completely from their childhood, from their episode. Who's going to walk away from their manic episodes where you feel like you're God for a couple hours? You feel like you're immortal. You feel like this song that you're listening to right now is the best thing that has ever been invented. Who is going to disrupt that? And why won't you remember it? And why is it okay? Why isn't it okay to remember those manic times? I know there's people that are manic that jump off of buildings. That's not okay. Okay. I know who I am. I don't forget who I am. I don't forget my name when I'm manic. I don't think I'm literally bulletproof. I just feel like I'm really alive. And this song right now is the best thing that I've ever heard. And I'm crying because of joy. I'm crying because of this crazy world. I'm crying because I'm older and my youth is getting further away. I'm crying because, I don't know. It's just like when you're manic, it's like a whirlwind, a tornado of emotions. And some are good, some are bad. You're crying, you're sad crying, and then you're happy crying, you're laughing, and then you're just like, oh my God. And it doesn't stop for hours. And you keep listening to the same song over and over and over. You don't want it to stop. You want that bittersweet nostalgia. Like your first breakup. You know how you listen to a song that reminds you of the person that broke up with you over and over and over? Yeah, I used to do that all the time. A girlfriend would break up with me. I'd listen to an album for all day for a week. When my friend died, I listened to an album over and over and over for a whole week. Death Cab for Cutie. All right, because I'm from the Pacific Northwest. We're moody up there. And my friend died. And he was the closest friend I ever had because he respected me. My other friends didn't. My jock friends didn't respect me. They called me names, and my teachers called me names. My dad called me names. And the only person who respected me and even cooked me dinner and treated me with respect and listened to me died when he was like 47 and I was like 43. Or I don't know. I don't remember the years, but he was older. And that's why I hung out with older people, because they respected me. If I had a moment of fancy, a flight of fancy is another way to call it, I guess, manic, they'd probably listen to me. They'd be like, wow, Eric, that's interesting. Have you researched this, or have you dived into it any further? But my old jock friends, they'd be like, dude, you're a freaking idiot. What are you talking about? You think you're God or something? I mean, it was just a song. It's just a song. It's like guys that are like, it was just a girl, dude. It's like, no way. Everyone is extremely unique. You know? They have their own scent. They have their own taste. They have their own, we're all different. And I cherish everyone's difference. But people that are less educated or dumb jocks, let's just say it, are like, dude, it's just a girl. It's just a song. It's just feelings. Get over it. Get a shrink. So I got rid of all my friends. When I was 18, I was like, you guys are gone. More like 20. When I started dating that older woman who, she was an artist and well-read, and she treated me to wine and making love for the first time. I was like, I got rid of all my friends. I was like, you guys are, I didn't say it to their face, but I was like, you guys are really not good for me. My self-esteem, I just got rid of my parents. I'm living with this older woman. 2 blocks away, my parents didn't even know where I was for 2 years. And got rid of all my friends. And yeah, those things haunt you though. It's like going from relationship to relationship. And if you don't heal in between the relationships, kind of like those rebound relationships where you hook up with someone right away after someone else. that shit haunts you. I mean, subconsciously it comes out somewhere. No, there's not. There's nothing on my face. I don't know. It's a reflection from my camera. So, see that little frickin' thing right there? No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, what do you think of all this? Manic, music, memory lane, autism. Are you autistic and you have these flights of fancy once in a while? Leave a comment. I love you guys. We'll get this all nailed down. We'll get this all nailed down. All right? And we'll be ready for the storms. And then we'll be ready for the good times. Because you are stronger than you think. And I am too.